Today, we will take a look at some post-human pedagogies addressing the issue of childhood nature through some pictures taken in daily life. These photos are old photos from my cell phone album because my community has been in lockdown since April the 30th. With the idea of Anthropocene, the view of human as independent of the world has been questioned and criticized. The focus of childhood study has begun to turn from a humanistic perspective to a post-humanistic view. In a romanticized humanistic view, nature is the object and human is the subject. Nature offers resources, cure, and support to its master, the human. Thus, it advocates a reconnect between child and nature. However, a post-human view is that human and nature are inseparable. Human children are in this nature with other beings and objects. All the entities, both human and non-human, respond to each other and they are in relation with each other. They are shaping and being shaped by each other. So how does this happen? What does it mean when we apply this to child and childhood study? Let's take a look at some examples of post-human pedagogies through several photographs. Learning is more than naming the world with human language. Firstly, in children's learning and becoming experience, the power of non-human forces is equally at play. The communication between human and non-human is beyond language. A sensorial pedagogy argues that body is in between of communication. Bodies sense the encounters between child and other objects, and bodies, through sensories and beyond language, give meaning to the encounters. These pictures were taken several months ago in a botanical garden. My son Alex is 4 years old. He and I were walking along a path among down redwoods, which stretched straight and high towards the sky. Suddenly, he looked up and then stopped walking. He stared at the trees for a while. It seemed that he and the trees were looking at each other, one looking up, the other looking down. It seemed that they were longing to communicate with each other. The expressions on the boy's face also suggested the sensitivities and sensorial forms of communication in the child-tree encounter, and this made them keen in the assemblages. A sensorial pedagogy proposes for child's sensorial ecological encounters and values child body knowing. Like the boy-tree sensorial communication, in daily life, children and matter are entangled with each other through encounters. It seemed that children can apply an aesthetic affective openness toward material surroundings. As Rautil argued, children show an attentiveness to non-human forces. They always present an openness to be surprised and to grant agency to non-human entities. The two pictures below are also from Alex, as we can see from the right image. The triangle one is named Little Brother Strawberry, and the rectangle one is named Little Brother Chocolate. Here, strawberry and chocolate were both granted agency by the boy. Being named Little Brother means strawberries and chocolate can play with him and can keep him company, and they are in a close relationship. The strawberry and chocolate smiling faces also demonstrate how this encounter make the boy happy. Sensorial entanglement must have played an important role in their pleasant encounter. This is an example that the children can describe their entanglements with objects through their aesthetic affective openness. It also shows that a relationship is developed between a child and objects through encounters. Posthuman theory holds that humans are nature in relation to and constituted by all other animate or non-animate coexisting entities. Through interactivity, children and other earthlings are constantly emerging in relations. They coexist in interdependent relations, and this allows us to consider how children's learning and becomings can develop in unpredictable ways through assemblages of relations. According to Malone, children can take up multiple subject or positions, both human and non-human. The picture on the right shows a picture drawn by Alex. He explained that he was an octopus playing happily in the sea with some clownfish. In the images below, the boy lying on the ground among some sparse flowers said that he was also a flower and it was comfortable to grow there. The other boy stood in a strange position, also intimating a flower in another way. Both the boys are coexisting and commingling with animals and plants. By being nature, they blur the boundaries of species and intimate relations with non-human kin, with plant kin, and with animal kin. Children's learning and becomings can happen unpredictably through entanglement with human and non-human elements in hybrid assemblage. These post-human pedagogies, like sensorial encounters and relations, offer a new lens and practical applications to childhood study and education.